Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Arpanamastu. In the evening twilight, the Sandhya Kal, as we call it, we have been able to chant Bhagwan's Nama once more. Let us offer our grateful pranams at the holy feet of Bhagwan and seek his blessings. We have been looking into the glimpses of Bhagwan's glory, his Nama's glory, and today we shall see the glory of his Prasad. We have already gone through many Leelas where we have seen how the Abhishek water taken from here had filled up some wells when it was dry and there was no rain. When this water was poured into the well, how soon the well welled up with water. We had seen many instances where how the Vibhuti Prasad from the shrine of Bhagwan helped people, guided them to the right decision and protected them. Today we shall see again how the Prasad helps. Some 2 or 3 days back, or probably just 2 days, a family had come here and they had brought some sugar candy. And they said, Amma, please make it prasad and give us. So I took it to Bhagwan's holy feet and kept it there, and after prayer brought it back. When I was handing it over, suddenly it flashed a particular incident, an experience of a devotee, how this sugar candy helped. We should go through that, relive that experience and learn what we have to. Aruppukkottai Sri Chandrashekar of Chandra Transports. The whole family have been devotees of Bhagwan from long time. From 80s they've been coming. Sri Chandrashekar said when he had come to the morning breakfast hut, he told me how when he was studying in college from 1960 to 63, he would get into conversations, arguments with fellow students who belonged to different religions. And they would ask him, how is it we have learned from your Puranas that the prasad given by great rishis, it cured a certain disease for some people, And this water, the holy water from the Homa, or the Payasam in Ramayana, we hear it was given to Dasaratha's wives and how they conceived. And sometimes the rishis gave flowers, and that helped the young girls into marriage. So they were asking, how do we believe all that? Do we have people here, even now, who can do this kind of thing? How can we believe otherwise? It was a question with Sri Chandrashekar ji also, because he did not know anybody who could help people with some prasad. He had to wait for another 25 years. He said, in the 80s when they began to come, 1986, they had already come to Bhagwan. They knew his name, chanting the name. And it happened that Chandrashekar ji's son, Parthiban, and daughter, Vinodini, they were struck with chickenpox. His son was able to manage. It was not so serious with him, but the daughter truly suffered. She developed high fever, and there were red patches, and soon, like blisters, it appeared everywhere, especially in the mouth, near the eyes, on the tongue, on the throat, the back, and in other places. So much so she was not able to sit, nor could she lie down. And she became so weak she could not walk either. And it was burning all over the body. And soon she was unable to swallow her own saliva and even water. She found it very difficult to eat. She could not. 5 days, 6 days passed, and it was extreme suffering. She was only a school girl. Both the children were school students, and particularly Vinodini suffered so much. The parents, Sri Chandrashekar ji and his wife, Sri Shekar, they were attending on them, and they found it increasingly difficult to bear when the children suffered so much. And they were thinking, chanting Bhagwan's name, yes, but they were thinking how to reach this news to him. They were unable to leave because they had to look after these two people. At the same time, they could not bear to see them suffer. So they were thinking, if anybody goes to Tiruvannamalai, we could send word to Swami, and Swami would definitely do something to give us relief. Even as they were thinking about this, longing to see him, longing for some relief for the children, as though by divine arrangement, it must be, Bhagwan always knew the minds of his devotees. One relative lady, Chandraprabha, came to their house, and she was telling Chandrashekar ji, I have so many problems at home, so I want to go see Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, I thought if you people, any one of you, you might be going by car, in which case, please give me a seat there. Then Chandrashekar ji explained to her, they were not in a position to move out at all. All the same, he was longing for somebody to go to Swami, carrying the news of their suffering, hoping there would be relief after that. Then Chandraprabha said, okay, I will definitely go and pass on your news to them. So Chandraprabha left for Tiruvannamalai, and after she explained her problems to Bhagwan, Bhagwan blessed her nicely. And after that, even before she started, it was Bhagwan who asked, is there any other news? Then of course Chandraprabha turned up with what Chandrashekar ji said, how the children were suffering from chickenpox, especially Vinodini. She explained in detail what was going on. Then Bhagwan opened a packet of sugar candies. He took out one, held it in his hand for some time, and then gave it to her. Then again he took out another piece. Again he held it in hand, and then he told Chandraprabha, one sugar candy, one piece is for the son. Now this piece is for the girl. And Bhagwan insisted that she should take it without mixing up. The one meant for the son separately, the one meant for the daughter separately. They should not mix up. Then Chandraprabha said, okay Swami, I will do that. I will take Vinodini's sugar candy, tie it up in my sari, and the son's sugar candy I would keep in the bag. So Bhagwan made sure she did that. And then she came to Chandrashekar ji's house, gave the sugar candies separately and said, this is for your son and this is for Vinodini. Swami insisted we should not mix it up. They were very happy, Chandrashekar ji and Sashireka. They knew that the suffering would come to an end soon. And then what Swami had sent for Vinodini, she was in no position to eat it. She was in no position even to drink water, far less a sugar candy. So they powdered it and mixed it in water and gave her. And with great difficulty she swallowed it, knowing that it was from Swami and it meant a certain relief from her suffering. And the wonder of wonders, 1 hour after she took that sugar candy, the pain began to reduce. And as the pain reduced more and more, she felt drowsy and then fell asleep. The kid had not seen a wink of sleep in the past 6 days. And now suddenly the sleep took over. And she slept off till about 4. It happened at 9 o'clock in the morning. Until 4 o'clock, she was fast asleep. Even at 4, she wouldn't get up, but the parents forced her to wake up. They had some preparation, liquid preparation, because she had to have some food. And this time, she was able to swallow it without much pain. And she fell asleep again. Chandrashekar ji said, for the next 20 days, this kind of sleep continued. And they simply let her, knowing that Swami was working. when she swallowed the powdered sugar candy with water, Swami got inside her and he began to work. And so for the next 20 days, slowly, even as she was sleeping most of the time, everything got healed and she became completely all right. It's all the great sugar candy held by Bhagwan in his hand, the Prasad. Anything that is Prasad, it carries his power, it carries his presence, his vibrant presence, his vibrant power. In the ashram, the very air is Prasad. There is no place where Bhagwan had not walked. Every inch of the land. It's all Prasad. And the food, one day Bhagwan said, in the beginning, when the building started, there were many workers. There was no arrangement for food. They used to bring from home. And then suddenly one day Bhagwan said, I think it was Chandrashekar ji or someone else, Bhagwan said, you can go to the hotel and bring food for these people. And that's how it started. Then the ashram itself began to make some food, some simple food in those days. Some people began to avoid it because the ashram food was too simple for them. And they would go outside to eat. Even the visitors who came to see Bhagwan, they found it too simple and some of them preferred to eat outside. When Bhagwan saw that, he declared, he said, those who want to eat food, they can go outside to a hotel and have it. Those who want to take prasad can take from the ashram. On that day, by this declaration, everything became prasad. The food preparation, all the food preparations in the ashram instantly carried the power of his word, prasad. Such is the glory of the food, prasad, here. I had seen in the beginning, not only in the beginning, those 7 years, many Muslims also used to come. They continue to come even after Mahasamadhi of Bhagwan. I think it's about 4 or 5 years back. A Muslim lady had come and she was seated there in the dining hall. And as soon as the food was served, she began to take them all out, and she had brought a vessel. She put the whole food into the vessel. And then somebody there asked her why she was doing it. It was meant for her to eat. And she said with tears that her husband had been very sick the past 5 or 6 days. They had tried all kinds of medicine, but the fever had not gone down. And she said she had experienced, whenever she took some prasad from the ashram, it served well the sick people at home. And this time, the husband had not taken anything for the past 5 or 6 days. So I thought I would take this food. This is prasad, Swami's prasad. It would surely cure him, like it had done in the past. We were stunned to hear it because that people were using food like this and it was working for them. Of course it would work, but we had the straight proof. So many instances. So many instances like this I can go on quoting. You may remember another incident, sugar candy. How Chandrashekar, when she went to Kanimatam, and the Tulabaram was being given, and at about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the night, the Tulabaram was held and there was not enough sweet. The chocolates, jaggery, everything that was available was put. And still the pan would not come down. They tried every bit. At 12 o'clock, where would they go to buy anything? They filled up the pan with all kinds of sweets available and it was completely exhausted. The pan was still up. They were giving some sweet, equal weight of the sweet for somebody, because their prayer was fulfilled. But then the pan wouldn't come down. And finally he struck Chandrashekar to go inside, rush inside. She remembered a few days before she had been to Bhagwan, and Bhagwan gave her a packet of sugar candies. After distributing it to so many people, there were 2 or 3 pieces left over. And by some divine choice, she had brought it with her. She remembered, suddenly it struck her that she could try with that some 2 or 3 sweet pieces, sugar candy. She rushed inside and brought it over. And the minute she held that sugar candy over the pan which held all those sweets, the pan came down straight. Even before she dropped it, she felt some vibration. And as soon as she dropped it there, it came straight down, equal to the weight of the person for whom this was being done. 1 or 2 small pieces of sugar candy made up for the loss of weight. Such is the glory of Prasad. Bhagwan said in the ashram, the water body here near the kitchen, he called it Ganga. The water body near the Pradhan Mandir on the other side, he called it Yamuna. And the third one he named Saraswati. And then he declared, he said, the ashram has Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati. One doesn't have to go to Triveni, Sangam. All the 3 holy waters are available in the ashram. So if you have a cup of water here in the ashram, be sure you are drinking Ganges water, you are drinking the Triveni water from Allahabad. Everything is Prasad. Why? He declared so. And whatever he declared is only the truth. These great masters, they live in the house of truth, the highest truth. They're established the highest truth. Whatever they say is Veda. Whatever they say is the only truth. Now we shall shift our eyes to another scene. A couple, Madhuram and her husband Ramu. They were living in Madras at the time, and Ramu was working in a very big company. And Madhuram was working in a very small company. And those people were used to go to bhajans and satsangs held anywhere in Chennai. Now once the couple had gone to attend some satsang and bhajans, were returning, it became very late into the night. No auto was available because they were living in a place called Sulaimedu. The autos were hesitant to come because once they dropped them there, the autos had to return empty. And the auto drivers could not afford it, so they said no. So they had to catch a bus. And then they thought it was nearing midnight, and they were not sure the driver would stop where they had to get down. And they thought it would be much easier to get down if they were seated near the footboard, the doorway. They were seated in the last row. And the driver was rash. He was driving so fast. At one point there was a speed breaker, and you can imagine what happened. When he was driving so fast and there was a speed breaker, the bus went up and down, and the whole body of the bus shook violently. With the result, Madhuram's backbone suffered compression fracture. After this, she could not even get up. She just lay down the last seat, and when the stop came, Ramu was begging everybody in the bus to help him because she had to be carried down. Somebody had to back her, but nobody came forward. It was midnight and people had to go home. It would be very, very late. So they all refused, and he did not know what to do. They were chanting, of course. He began to chant Bhagwan's Nama. And then there was a lady there. He approached her in the bus itself. Said, please, please help. She needs help from a lady. And the lady hesitated again, saying that it was already late for her and it would become further late and she couldn't afford it. Just when he was begging her, he bent, and then Bhagwan's picture, which he had kept in his pocket, it fell down, slipped out. And as soon as the lady saw Bhagwan's picture there, oh, this is Yogi Ji, Ramji Swami of Tiruvannamalai. Are you devotees of the Swami? Then Ramu said, yes, please help. And immediately she said, no matter how late it's going to be for me, I would come with you and do all the help. Until she gets admitted into a hospital, I would be with you. She readily agreed and she helped through this great difficulty for him. She stayed on till the end and then left. The picture did the job for him. In the other incident we saw the Prasad, and now the very picture. He was chanting the name, but even then, it's only when the picture fell down. How did the picture come out? He was just standing there, asking her, begging her to help. How could the picture fall down? But it did. And that did the work also. So somehow or the other, either the picture or the prasad or the nama, sometimes even without any of this, things happen. The merciful Bhagwan is helping us all the time, guiding us, protecting us in so many ways, depending upon the circumstances. So when you just imagine what tapas he must have done, and here he is standing all the time, like Dakshinamurti, on his feet, instead of being seated, with his raised hand in benediction. He is ready the minute you enter the ashram. Once you enter the ashram, you are soaked in his energy. Without your praying to him, without even joining us in the Nama chanting, there will be instant pour of blessings on you. Please believe me, this is what Bhagwan said. Those who enter this ashram will not go back empty-handed. My Father's blessings are pouring on them, whether they are aware of it or not. It is the truth. His declaration. Whatever is in the ashram is only prasad, his word. And his very picture, he once said, there will be a flow of grace wherever his picture is. It's not only the Nama, it's also his picture. Though he did not encourage people to worship his form, pointing to his own form, his own body, he would say, this is perishable. Don't get attached to this. Chant this beggar's name. My Father would come, would rush help to you. But now, everything about him, even the memory of his coconut shell, fetches a bout of blessings. And we very badly need his blessings, even for our daily life. Now this Bhagwan is here in front of us, ready to give, ready to pour his blessings for the asking. And let us ask, Bhagwan, you know how today's world is suffering. The whole movement of the world seems to have come to a standstill. People are all in some kind of prison. They are held at home, held up, unable to come out, afraid to come out. Panic is residing in everybody's heart. Only you can do something about it. We beseech you again and again for your immediate divine intervention to free people from the clutches of this virus and its variants and bring back normalcy, a dharmic normalcy in every aspect of life, everywhere. And Bhagwan, please stop the spread of the disease in the entire world and enter this medicine, this vaccine. The vaccination drive is on. Please enter this vaccine and make it work, and also bless this to reach the right people. All those sevaks who are in the field helping others, fighting the disease against all odds. Please give them protection. We need a huge grace for a boost to the economy. Above all, we seek your blessings again and again for constant remembrance of your name, to be aware, to reach the state where we would begin to see everything as your prasad. If somebody pours praises on us, it's prasad surely from you. If somebody should throw abuse at us, it is still prasad from you. Like in a plate, when they serve food, they put sweet and the pickle. If we start eating the pickle straight away, you know what happens? The eyes will water, the nose will water, and we won't be able to proceed any further. But the same pickle, if you eat with curd rice, it will be very tasty, and you may even ask for more pickle. So the sweet and the pickle, the joy and sorrow of life, if you associate both with God, you will be able to accept them with equipoise. Bhagwan, please bless us so that we develop this attitude to life. We develop this attitude to all joys and sorrows of life and go about our daily life as a fine instrument in your hands. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.